ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League and the craziness that is happening tonight. Natsu,
it's off the hook.
It has been bonkers. Let me remind you, let me bring you up to date before we jump into the game. Virtus Pro have now beaten Flipside 16-14 on the first map. If they were to win the second map, they won't go into relegation. Flipside will.
Yeah.
How Virtus Pro are going to escape this is beyond me, but it's possible that they could. Astralis have beaten Fnatic. Astralis are now second place, guaranteed. So NIP first, Astralis second. Fnatic, don't know yet. They could slip out of this. They're playing with Wenton tonight. Yeah. Bit of a debut. No pressure, buddy. But if you lose the next map, you might not be going to the finals. And a certain Olof Meister will be sat there going, What happened? But they lost 16-5. But I'll get to you in a second, Natsu. I'll get to you in a second. I need to lay everything out.
Yeah, lay it out. Lay it out.
If you guys just missed it, NaVi did just beat mousesports, so that's happened. So now they're on 14 wins as well. G2 also beat mousesports. That's 16-13. So they're all on 14 wins. Fnatic, NaVi, and G2. Now, if G2 win the next one, they may well be getting third place. If Fnatic don't win, they could be out. If NaVi win, they could be in. It's really, everything could be happening. It is bonkers, but it's on cash. I also want to just bring in the one final game before we get to speak.
Sure.
Is this craziness that we're watching on Inferno. NV 11-4 up on T side on Inferno against FaZe. And now it's 11-3 on T-side for FaZe. So they are now at 15-14 match point, FaZe are. Bonkers.
Yeah,
what a crazy night.
And they were saying that Inferno is 2C decided.
Yeah, and we didn't even get into SK choking as well, because they were...
That's true.
They were 14-9 up, and then it went to overtime, and it's 17-16 that's going on at the moment, SK in lead.
But I think the saving grace from Fnatic perspective is the fact that NaVi is going to be playing now on cash. mousesports have won their past 9 in a row, and I think the overall score for NaVi on cash is something like 5 wins, 18 losses. So
they've not won since September 2015. They've not even played it in 2016.
Yeah, October was the last time they played against TSM, and that was an overtime loss. So I think actually G2 winning the first map, that's actually looking good for them. And I think Fnatic should be all right unless NaVi pulls off something crazy. So basically in the big picture, what NaVi is hoping right now is to keep the score really close here and make sure that hope that NIP just takes care of G2 in a huge fashion. Yeah,
and we should say it's down to 4 rounds between them. Guys, I've been told the game is ready to go. So let's go over to the casters. It's going to be Cash for NaVi and Mouse. It's going to be Pansy and Mitch.
Thank you very much, Lee. And we've spent most of the break in the lead up to this game, just like children at Christmas time. We are incredibly excited for this next map. Not only are we going to see Keish played by NaVi for the first time since October last year, which was the tiebreaker loss to TSM. But also what is actually riding on this game as well.
I can barely digest how much this means between the two teams. Now, historically, these two have met a long old time ago on Cash, but I mean, this is back in 2015. This is back, summertime. This was during the first season of the Pro League on Cash, and that went actually NaVi's way, but that was 16-14. It's so long ago, it's almost irrelevant at this point. But look at that map record in comparison to each other. This is terrifying places for NaVi to be.
And I mean, this whole year, it's 12-3 for mousesports on this map as well. So if you expand it out as well, it's been a damn good year for them as well. Their last victories, to be fair, I think mousesports have their last 4 games was against Virtus Pro, 2 of which were on Keish as well, which they smashed them on both of them as well. They also beat Envy before that, but here's your knife round. And I don't even know if it really matters, Pansy, who gets a knife round first. I know NaVi have said they've been practicing this. They said, I think Zeus tweeted out, he said, and now the butt clenching begins. And I quote him verbatim. So
they've got the knife on their side. They need to pick which side they're going to start on, and then it begins. This is what it comes down to. This could be NaVi sticking themselves in with a chance of going to the finals, bearing in mind there is still, it comes down to round difference and a lot of other games. That is still up in the air. But for a solid shot at it, they need this win. And there's no more to be said about it than that. This is what it comes down to. They're going to start on the CT side. mousesports have a point to prove. They lost out on the map that they wanted to coming into this. They had Dust 2. They were probably looking pretty happy with that one. But this is going to be outstanding, Mitch. I don't know what to predict, but let's find out.
And I can't wait to see what Starix and NaVi themselves have prepared as well. Surely they've got something. One must
split.
hope.
How about that to start with?
Not bad. We'll take it. Yeah, good little stack. But Nico got to open things up. Flamey responds very, very quickly with the USP, but now mousesports are just going to try and pile in. Dennis just beats back on towards Flamey, but Zeus is there. Headshot in the spot there. It's going to go back and forth, but the bomb is loose. Guardian gets a quick double.
Guardian's still alive is going to be a big factor here. Now, Chris J has a shot, but he breaks those vents. Everyone knows what's coming. And he knows that. What can he do with it? Gonna have to do it at some point. 1 minute and 30 seconds-ish left on the board. Takes the fight on the first. Assumes the second will be by headshot as well, which exactly where Guardian is. And that, lovely shot comes in. Oh, he takes down Zeus. It's suddenly back on. He needs that one bullet, and he does. Chris J gets things started with a bang. Chris J, what is this?
What is this? This is some nutty CS, Lauren.
This is nuts, mate. This is nuts.
I mean, obviously, we saw the man himself, Chris J, had to give his position away. He had to go vents. He didn't want to go around the world, didn't think he had enough time or whatever. He just saw the head, the pixel headshot, one quick dink, and then, oh my lord, the shot towards the guy at the site was beautiful. There's not really much you can analyze there as well, but that's not what NaVi wants. Whatever they're going to put into practice on this map is going to have to wait a few rounds while we get out the Quasis and the ecos here for NaVi now. So bought into pistols, and Zeus just going to get wrecked by a nade straight at his feet. So
here we go. Nico going to start...
and see you later.
Yeah, I'll just shut that door again. Flamey gets swept aside, and he's just keep doing this. He's going to toy with them, keep their attention here. It's a bit of a split, and again, this UMP work, even on that distance, is actually pretty impressive. Bearing in mind, though, NaVi do have no armor, so it's just the Deagles and the P250 now left. So, again, farming up that cash, getting a bit of bank build, perfectly done. All you need to do, and now they want to get the plant. Guardian still has the Deagle here, but can't get much time with it. And mousesports closing in towards A. Bit of a systematic play at this point. Happy enough to lose out on the UMPs. However, an AK, not when you'd be losing out on at this point. They can recover it, but still, they don't lose out on too many. Next, we'll find Zeus, and they should be able to get the rifles back in. Spiddy doesn't manage it, so they do lose out on one of the AKs there, but not the end of the world.
Yeah. Nico as well testing A like your local Fedora dude. Open the door, give you a face full, come back and ask if you want fries. He got two, of course, on that A site, just peeking in and out. There was obviously
that analogy was...
There was obviously... Actually, I don't get much Fedora, to be fair. I should utilise this service more. You, though, are a bit of a veteran of the delivery service.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Or is the Lauren Scott special baked beans still a thing?
As if I'm getting mocked here. But shut up, Mitch. 4-1 split, flash into main. NaVi seem to like doing this. And look at mousesports. If you just open up the map almost, or just look at the overview, look how far back they're all sat. And Chris J was very vocal in the fact that in the new updates, I think on Cash, I think some of this might be changed because he loved to sit back in this position. And all of them just playing default, basically waiting for these pushes. Oh, seized. Seized is like, I'll just crouch here and hope. I'm waiting for all those, accusations to come out. Oh, Nico, the one bullet. Can't get any more done. Actually, this is good. Any damage done here is perfect, because these are rifles to be taken away and make it a little bit more costly. Flashbang again to main. No one here. Mouse can just easily bunch up and hit the B site together. There's actually no one there. Guardian's a little out of spot at this point, but they do have that rifle on Flamey. Wouldn't be a bad thing for him to keep hold of that at this point. Guardian can do what he can. He can try and make something out of this. That smoke will give him a little bit of room to play with here. To get himself towards headshot, where Dennis lives up to the name of what it is given.
Flamey on his own here as well.
He's snuck in. They don't know he's here.
The plant's happening off towards his right. He doesn't quite know where it is, and he can't quite see Dennis. He can probably presume he's there. So come around the corner, pre-fire there. Now he's got control of the site, but Nex was in his way. Now, for NaVi, to know that Nico is probably going to play solo on the A side is an easier read than Green Eggs and Ham. They knew that. They managed to put two players into getting him there as well, but things didn't go so great elsewhere on the map as well. But mousesports letting the player on into that B side a little bit questionable, but still, they managed to bring the round back. They had two left at the end, but Spiddy's still going with the UMP.
Spiddy's just going to try and rack up the funds. And how annoyed would you be if you just lose out to this? That'd be the best part. All right, so 3-0 to Mouse. This is when it starts to really count. This is when it actually needs to start mattering for NaVi. And Guardian, you don't want to be giving much away at this point. I think Spiddy might have heard that. A little bit of damage maybe being connected, but the rest of Mouse just holding back again. NaVi trying to take a lot of mid-control. Guardian denies Spiddy trying to push up by checkers. Zeus does well in mid to trade out on one, but there is still Edward waiting ever so patiently. And he's going to hear the steps from Nex. Flamey here, and they're putting a lot of focus on this mid crossfire. Flamey's found Dennis, and there was still Edward waiting. Look at this guy, he's right around behind them. But Christie spotted him out, but now he's absolutely baffled, and Edward still gets it. That was a real backwards round, but I love that mid play from NaVi. Almost 3 players basically stacked out there, all watching that same push through, and actually got Mouse out. So first gun round, which is, I guess, the important one if you want to look at it that way, goes to NaVi.
Yeah, important there as well. I mean, Guardian was balls out over in towards Checkers to get the first shot in towards B main. That definitely made mousesports think twice about even trying to go for that one this time, and then the rest of NaVi piled into mid. It's good to see. We like that, in fact, a lot. In fact, well, Virtus.pro used to do this way back before anyone sort of started doing it. Strong presence in mid. You know, Pasha used to push all the way forward, so I want to see more of that from NaVi here.
Is this going to be one of those, I guess you can almost call it an NIP style now, the smoke out molly plays coming in? I'd really like this. They use it as almost an anti-eco, but they've got the smokes coming out here. Pushing smoke on top of red. And it's completely blocked off highway, and now they molly it out. So this could be really unique. So we've got Dennis and Nex with the molly still left. Flamey's kind of like tucked away in quad. He can't be seen. Cease is going to push up a little. The theory crafting isn't bad for Mouse in this round, but the execution was a bit shoddy. No one got really pressured. And when NIP do it, they do it. So they do a similar smoke setup. Similar, I say, but not exactly the same. But then they molly off all the close parts of the site, so it really forces everyone into these very close positions, or just out of the site so you get the plant as an anti-eco.
Yeah, right back over the top of the red container as well. Also something the NIP do, will fake that. You know, we saw Nico going forward, okay, he was probably delivering his payload of bullets there as he has been, but sometimes we'll see teams boost mid and actually get mid control and work from Speedway and maybe use Nico as a pivot, but no, mousesports did go for that A, and NaVi held on as well. So these CT rounds are just so important. Possibly the more important ones for NaVi here as well, whose T-side's going to be questionable, perhaps, but C's pushing in towards A main, gets one shot, a little bit blasé about the fact that Dennis was just around the corner.
Yeah, you can get pretty overpowered quite easily there, and, well, he did. Dennis, as you said, finding the deagle shot, but Flamey's already on the site, as is Zeus watching the cross, and very hap-handed on these peaks, taking a lot of damage for this, and losing out a little bit of weaponry here, but they should be able to close out the round comfortably. So again, the money not exactly a big problem for NaVi at this point. Since that first gun round came in, they've claimed everything. And I guess if you look at it this way, Mitch, you know, NaVi's got this in the bag easily. They've never lost cash in this year.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is right. And to be fair, even
they
on
never won it either, but that's not the point.
Even on a serious, I mean, the last time they lost this map was last October. Let's get real right now. But to be fair, with obviously Inferno out and New Nuke coming in as well, I mean,
got to play something, right?
yeah, I mean, they're going to play New Nuke or this. That's the question. So maybe NaVi have already had to pull their socks up and think about this even before the fact. But Guardian as well, already pushing forward and seized.
Spiddy's watching that.
Nice. Information overload for him. C's also got pretty heavily tagged up on the A side as well. He's had to pull himself back as Guardian, again, is going to try and ask for a bit more here. But no one from mousesports is going to be replying. It's just Spiddy as well. Just very much a backstop here, getting information. Going to be preventing a quick flank as well.
This just cuts off, you know, that B side of the map pretty much. Guardian could, I probably doesn't want to, but he could solo out here. He can pretty much just stay alive at this point. 2 flashes and nade. He's got a little bit of work to work with. He knows that Spiddy's probably watching this in the backline somewhere. Maybe not predicting exactly as to where, but he's got a good idea that there's probably a player still around this. But it does cut off part of the map, leaving Mouse with less to play with, less map control, less information. And if Mouse want to come back over, they'll be checking so rigorously, and that will allow Guardian the first shot towards Spiddy. Maybe going to speed up Mouse as to how they respond now. Looking to take that mid control. Edward's been smoked off. He can't do much about this. But then again, there's no one to be picked up at this point. They're playing very much to the site. Seized and Flamey. Focus towards A. Edward's starting to tender over towards the A site, down by truck, and we're going to see this 2-2 split come out to play.
mousesports haven't given NaVi any reason to think they're anywhere else but mid, to be fair, at the moment, or through towards A main here as well. So this Speedway play going to be crucial. Edward actually got the spot there as well, but he's walked into a hail of bullets. Nico is going to be able to catch him and take him out. This could be carnage now. mousesports pressing forward. Flamey gets one, but Nex is going to be there. It's just 2 left, and Zeus trying to do the heavy lifting here from truck. He gets a damn good amount of tag on towards Nex. Beautiful stuff now as well. Bought his team a bit of time, and Guardian in towards mid as well.
These
Missing
tags.
the shot.
He tagged him.
He got the shot.
He did get the shot, but it was a tag, and they're both down to solo. These nades could do so much damage, but he tries to switch up, doesn't get it. And now it's down to Zeus. Very possible, but both low on such HP. Zeus on 15. 16, excuse me. And then Chris J on the same, and Nex even low. But there we have it. The crossfire works out. And
that's karma for Guardian, to be fair. Remember that Guardian versus Chris J, and
True, the leg,
Chris,
yeah.
Chris J legged him and stuff. What goes around comes around, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the way it goes. But that was quite a tight one here, and you can see as a result the money is not exactly going to be booming for mousesports at this stage. Guardian still gets to buy himself back an AWP. For how much longer he'll be able to do that remains to be seen as mousesports get their 4th T-side round on the board. No AWP for them at this stage, of course. Just the AKs. See how they want to use him here as well. It's still smokes out from Na'Vi, a lot of them. In fact, mid and A main blocked off.
Speedy's got a horrible task, though. Just to play kind of default with B. You look at people who do it extraordinarily well, like your Get Rights, right? Who do that B play, just, on the T side especially, just working their way through, constantly being a presence and a nuisance. Sadly for Speedy, he has to take on the likes of Guardian, who may not play this often. You may not see this guy, constantly playing this, but when you're such a proficient player, it's going to be very difficult to overcome that. And actually, Guardian doesn't spot out Speedy in this position. They're going to molly it anyway towards a close right corner, clear that out. No one crosses. So again, a lot of focus on trying to find some control here for Na'Vi, and just playing default across the rest of the map. Now, Guardian's found nothing, so they're going to leave Zeus here to a degree. Guardian can now start roaming around again, but this gives mousesports a lot of time. They've still got a lot of mollies to play with here. They could easily make a quick play towards B. Essentially, keeping these mollies in allows you so much more time to play with. And I'm almost certain Zeus can almost see Speedy
I
here.
think it's just the bloom from the X-ray that makes it look like that. But Zeus is convinced there's someone there as well. Speedy's been lurking on this B side for a fair bit. For him, he's been playing independently as well. He's had to think, do I peek now? He got picked off by Guardian, I think, last round, or when he was sitting way back. Here comes a flash and smokes in now. Zeus gives ground, and Guardian's going to have to respond to this, but Edward might be overwhelmed in mid.
Yeah, this looks like a mid to B split, and it's going to work out well. With Edward going down, it's down to Zeus and Guardian to do the damage and slow them down as much as possible. Zeus in a good spot, but Guardian needs to keep their attention towards him. He needs to be shouting as loud as he can with that orb, but he gets pretty much left to do it all. He's already found 2. Can he find any more? He's got 3 players pouring towards him. Waiting to hear these steps, sees them coming close, and he takes down next, absolutely slaughtering them as they step closer. And Nico will be found by Seized in the back. So Guardian stood strong and held the line. Zeus got overwhelmed. Edward went down. That almost looked like that could be Mouse's round to play with, but again, this is going to force Mouse down on money. They're down to very low amounts. And this being 4-4, you think the Mouse picked up that first pistol and they ran with those first 3. This actually isn't a bad performance from Na'Vi so far.
Not at all. And right there as well, from Guardian, you saw definitely a fundamental of trying to hold a sight when you know you're being pushed. Stay alive, but get information as well. Get little peeks, shoulder peeks, whatever. Get an idea of how the enemy's progress is looking and scream at your teammates to get there and help you out. Beautiful stuff. Really, really nice there. Flamey and Zeus, they're going to open up the account here early on, and mousesports not able to find too much, except a bit of damage on towards Edward. Nico as well, being read into by Flamey. He knows that his presence is expected, and Nico already wallbangs through the door, has put him on 22.
Again, best you can hope for on these is a bit of damage and a bomb plant. You wouldn't assume you do much more than that, even if you have Nico there, but he's not got the deagle, so you can't believe too much, right?
You've got to be realistic about your expectations here as well. But Nico will try and rile up the natives, at least for his last few moments, but Flamey will send him packing. And Na'Vi, yep, holding on. This is, again, kind of the bare minimum from them. To be fair, I don't think we've seen anything out of this world from them, and you shouldn't be expecting that at this stage. But they're able to keep buying here as well with that round back up. It's 5-4, of course. It's been pretty back and forth, though.
And for me, it's a lot of the T side that I'm going to be looking at to see how much Na'Vi have been able to achieve, because CT, you can play your spots, you can play almost default throughout it. I like they had a mid stack in mind. I like the way they're playing so far. Guardian, again, going to be tested here. A lot of UMPs brought up. This could be a bit of an overwhelming play. Guardian probably can't escape from this unless he gets a really good first drop in, basically. So let's see how much he can do. This is again, going to be very difficult to work out from.
Depends how long the door smoke is going to be up for. If that gets renewed, he might be able to escape. But no, the one peak is going to send him down to 49. And now Molotov to try and give himself some safety, but it's not going to be enough. Still the shot to the face of Speedy. And as well, Dennis is going to fall. Guardian is on fire. Chris is also going to fall down as well. And my lord, apologies to headphone users around the world. But that is Na'Vi holding on, and Guardian with a quick 3. Get in his face, and he's like a cornered lion.
That's ridiculous. He misses the sitters, right? And then goes back, hits that. Okay, all right, Guardian. What was that? What was... How? Right, this is the danger of Guardian. It's not the fact that he can do this. It's the fact that he misses the sitters and comes back even more dangerous. That's just ridiculous. And again, apologies for breaking all headsets.
Yeah, no, I know I was clipping. I always clip. In this studio, I always clip. I have to talk like half the volume anyway.
But
so
that was nuts. Again, this is the game that we expected, and I don't know what Mouse would be thinking. Sure, they're on the Tech9 buy-up. You do not expect an AWP to be able to achieve that sort of presence. Again, though, Na'Vi going to put in a lot of presence towards mid initially. Flamey, Edward, Zeus was there actually to start with as well, and then going back to more of a default play. Maybe assuming the Mouse would want to do that B split again, just trying to get some dominance here. Again, Nico isn't exactly unknown to be in this spot. So, they can play it out pretty well so far.
He's going for the one tips, and that nade is definitely going to be hurting as well. Just going to try and Molotov off Forklift and allow the rest of mousesports to make some use of A main. But Nex and Chris J haven't really come forward yet at all. They're playing it very slowly. So Nico, in fact, a lot of the groundwork he's done here is pretty much for North. He's lost a lot of health. He's tried to use some utility to make that site more secure for mousesports, but no. in the end, they are going to have to opt for something a little bit different. Mind you, across the other side of the map, Spitty, you can see on your screen there, is sitting well back with an AWP to challenge out. Guardian in the Titan does fall eventually, but there's going to be Dennis caught in mid. Next responds on towards Edward. And now it's a 4v3.
Really good trade so far coming in for Mouse. And losing out on Dennis and getting that much control is perfect, but it will mean it's down to Zeus to buy the time here. Good little pop flash could actually do some work. Managed to turn it. Actually, so did Chris J, so he's going to get the first shot on this. They won't know B's as clear it is, but the smoke comes down towards CT. That will allow the cross. Now, Seized and Flamey, how much can they achieve? The bomb is going to be pretty much safely planted unless Seized goes like, I don't know, superhero mode. And that's how well it goes. You're not Stewie. Calm down. And Flamey in a 1v4. It is what it is. He's probably getting outdone by Nico here, who's got the angle and doesn't even do the knife. Just
that
does
angle.
That angle.
Well,
They know him for his one taps.
if there's any game that's going to give us such volatile rounds, it's going to be this one. We saw it on Dust 2 as well. Here as well, back and forth. One round, Guardian goes absolutely massive. Next round, he gets killed by Spitty with an AWP. So it happens. And NIP currently lead G2 on Dust 2.
Do we know how much by?
That's 5-3.
I still don't know when to get excited with the fact that NaVi might beat Mouse on Cash. I think I'll have to wait a little while yet because Guardian's doing stuff like that. So Spitty again getting outdone at B, which is a bit of an issue so far. Spitty's kind of been a little bit...
Kind of a crappy position to have to play as well, I think. The rounds where Spitty's just been patient, it actually worked out for him. Like last round, he waited for Guardian to come in and he got him. So maybe confidence working against him there, but still, it's Chris J as well falling, so going to be even that much harder for mousesports now. And so many smokes up on this A side. It might be the execute coming in from mousesports here. Molotov is going to force those players away, and Flamey going all the way back, but Seized is going to be there. He holds on strong. That 1v1 comp experience definitely helping out, but Edward and Flamey are there too. It's a party for NaVi. It's 7-5.
Yeah, that double AWP paying off perfectly then. Seized holding his own. No one looking panicked. mousesports struggling to really make the impact in these rounds. And it's given NaVi a really good lead. 7-5 is pretty respectable so far. Money's a little bit not particularly even at the moment, hence why you're going to see a couple of players investing more than others, trying to even out the economy on the T side. So you can see a couple of deagles, bit of armor with Nico. And hey, never write Nico out on a deagle, especially on this map. We've all seen that 1v5, so it's pretty filthy. And C's a little overzealous here. Could have been maybe overwhelmed, but managed to back away. But it looks like Chris J and the boys want to work off the back of this. They've got steps out now towards the site, and with C's missing shots, that means that, hey, the site could be mousesports. This could be a bomb plant coming in. Flamey's trying to deny it, and he's doing perfectly at that. But now they all line up, and well, damage starts coming in.
Yeah, easily enough here. Dennis now in a 1v3. There's still an AWP up for NaVi. That smoke is starting to clear. That's Dennis's lifeline. Unfortunately, he's going to push straight into two foes, and Guardian will finish the job. Both AWPs still being maintained here, and Seized is doing a decent job. I mean, the same on Dust 2 as well. Wouldn't have called him a headline player with the AWP on that map, but he did what was required of him, especially his presence over at the B site.
Can we just remind ourselves? The Guardian was injured to a point where he was playing on, I think, almost double, if not more, his sense at one point. He's been, you know, up and down in form, but this game and the one prior, he's hitting the form again that makes Guardian a beast. And it's been such a pivotal point here. And I'm worried that if they can't shut him down on this side, God knows what he can achieve on the T side, but Seized on the lurk, straight through the smoke with the AWP on A main, and still manages to find Nico. What?
Into a gun round as well, which is quite interesting. I'd like to know what his mindset is on that one as well. Just throw in something a bit different and keep your opponents guessing. Perfect start. With Nico off the table as well, mousesports obviously goes without saying that this is a very important round. There's Zeus will press over towards a boost and Edward. So this is that strong mid control that NaVi has showed us a couple rounds this half that has worked out generally quite well. Leaving just Guardian over at B. Normally he feels happy enough swatting Spitty away as he tries to peek him, but there's going to be potentially next there as well, and Dennis can get there if they need to go B. But no, maybe the opposite direction here. Even after losing Nico from an early peak of C's at A, they might try it.
All right, Mouse. What do you do now? They have one smoke on Chris J. Oh, very limited map control. They haven't really got a foot anywhere. So they need to get a pick. They need to find something to open up one avenue of approach into this round. And that's why they're putting up Chris J towards boost. However, losing out on Dennis is not exactly how you want this one done. And Zeus being so close, he's going to be a constant nuisance. They can't take mid control. With 25 seconds left, they're going to need to make some hero-level plays to get through the amount of players left in NaVi. And Edward actually gets outdone on this one. He's going to just spray in, buy some time. 15 seconds now. Mouse are finding opportunities here, but They are running that clock extremely low, and Flamey's going to hear all these steps, and they're going to line up for him. He finds the first. The two are making a mad dash towards the site. They want to get that bomb down, but Guardian knows what's coming. He's on the hunt with the 5-7, and that 5-7 will find Spitty, deny the bomb plant, and another one on the board for NaVi now.
Yeah, and no one does NaVi like NaVi does, and if mousesports try to drag the round out like they did there, it's just not going to yield too many results. Spitty had no choice but to just run at the bomb side and try and plant, even though there's a player behind him with a 5-7. As our friend Anders would say, that's not quite ideal.
No. When do you start worrying when you're mousesports? Because you're meant to be good at this map, right? And NaVi are currently 9-5 up on you. Your CT side will be fine as long as you get that first pistol. This is starting to get a little bit worrying. Flamey's going to be a bit of a linchpin here if Mouse went for that quick hit towards A. Excuse me, words are very hard. But they haven't. Nico's got himself in a really cute spot though, but Edward's probably going to spot him. No, he doesn't. That gives Nico the chance to do more damage, but didn't manage to get the kill in the end. But it will speed up the rest of Mouse to try and make a play maybe up towards Highway, where Edward's classically been holding, try and overwhelm him. Zeus now picking up the mantle and Connector gets outdone by Chris J. Nicely done there. Trades it out. Zeus gets taken away, but still, they're losing out far more players than they should be. It's given mousesports a great deal of opportunity here. Flamey has to, again, be the linchpin now.
Lack of early presence in mid, to be fair, cost NaVi those kills because you saw those Tech-9s were able to get up close and personal, and there's Edward as well. Gets on towards Spitty, and Flamey has the spray there, and it gets it done. Half-time will be 10-5 here, and like you said, mousesports are supposed to be pretty damn good at this map, but here we are. It's going to be NaVi in the lead by 5. Lee, what's going on with the other games, mate?
Yeah, crazy stuff going on. Astralis absolutely dumpstering Fnatic at the moment. 12-3 first half. That's on Train. That was the T side. 12-3 first half. It's up to 12-4 now, so Fnatic obviously just won the pistol. NIP 7-3 up on T side Dust 2. So that's going on. They're a little bit behind. If you really want to know, SK Gaming Dignitas, well, they're still going on the first map. It's 24-21.
Oh my lord.
They're still going. Flip side are 4-2 up over VP. And Envious FaZe only just got underway. It's 3-2 to FaZe so far.
So FaZe had that big old comeback on Inferno as well, so that is an interesting one there as well. And to be fair, I always enjoy a bit of a Danish derby there as well between SK and Dignitas. Good to hear they're giving each other a run for their money, but of course, eyes are on this game right now as well. NaVi actually looking pretty good, a position where they justifiably could make it into that top 4 here as well. Don't even bother about round difference if they win both here. And G2, of course, winning that one map, I think it's going to come down to that still.
So I'm excited to see NaVi's T side. I want to see how much they've been able to actually achieve in a very short span. It looks like an A hit, pretty default, 2 smokes coming up. Mouse should be able to read this like a book. Zeus still has his smoke, but look at the damage coming in from that nade, and these USPs can do so much damage at that distance. But Edward, the raid boss comes in, only 1 HP though. That could be chucked out to a teammate, but Next takes matters into his own hands, finds 2 beautiful shots, leaving Seized your last man standing, and Next already on the 4. Why not give him the 5?
Yeah. A stunning round from Next there as well. Gets himself the ace. And I think he went forward actually to try and get Edward just to finish him off. And he's like, well, I guess there's a guy right on my left, so I need to deal with that as well. Had the health points and he had the aim and the composure. So to say that was required for mousesports is pretty obvious, I think, at this stage here as well. Got a few rounds to make up here as well. We are looking to see the intricacies and depth to NaVi's T side here as well. Are players like Guardian and Edward, Seized, Flamey, and of course Zeus enough just to do it on their own back against a team like mousesports? That's the real question here.
Yeah, it's going to be the big question. Nico and Dennis will be the ones to wait in towards A. And Flamey lining up the smoke. That basically essentially goes over towards Quad and MBK. You can get Zeus. It looks like pretty much a nice A take at this point. Just your kind of, not necessarily default smokes, but your standard-ish A smokes to go over, and then you either nade or molly the site itself. You can see them landing on top of red, and it'll basically cut the site into chunks where Tech-9s can do a great deal of damage. That's what we're seeing here. So Dennis, Nex, and Nico have limited information as to what's coming their way. However, the flashes and nades haven't really caught anyone at this point. And now those UMPs, those SMGs can do a lot more damage. But Zeus and Guardian still going to find something. They have to get over Nico still in quad.
Yeah, and that's easy. It's going to be a problem as well. Zeus being so low, just a bit of a spray for Nico. End up the day at the office for him, and he's going to have himself 3 for the round here, and mousesports will start to stack them together here. NaVi getting relatively little, apart from a couple of kills in those first few rounds. Again, probably won't go for too much here in this one. And allow mousesports to solidify themselves a lot. As Zeus, I'm going to bring it up again, as Zeus pointed out, this is very much a clench game for them here. But 10 rounds already off the first half is not something to be complaining about. They've given themselves a springboard, they've given themselves the right trajectory here, but mousesports would love to ruin this party.
Considering this is a map you permanently ban, and they are still leading. This is good stuff for them. They can build off it if they don't get too upset by the fact that Pistol wasn't on their side. Then again, Crochet finding seized. It's all about the gun round coming in after this. If they can get a plant off that, great. If not, okay, limited utility, maybe a little more limited than they'd like. Chris J is just having a whale of a time pinning them to the wall with the scout, and Zeus will be found. So a very clean round coming in. Speedy with the 2 kills on the UMP is very important. Nico didn't get any himself, but he could stick on that maybe if he wants to. Is he cheeky enough? I think so.
Additionally as well, not much of that utility expended by mousesports at all in that last round. It wasn't necessary, of course, with Spitty and Chris J already spotting out the enemy and able to dispatch them easily enough. And I want to point out as well, player like Spitty as well, his first half wasn't stellar, obviously like just 5 and 12 at this stage, but I want to stress that it was not an easy position to play, especially up against Guardian when you often don't have an AWP. So I'll be looking at him as well, see what he can create on this CT side. He currently will be playing the events towards checkers here. He's got that side with Chris J.
Yeah, so a lot of focus towards mid and B from mousesports to begin with. You've got Spitty and Chris J doubling up on B, you've got Nex and Dennis focused towards mid, and then Nico just soloing out on A pretty much. He's got the UMP, which is kind of curious, but he's got a great deal of utility. He can smoke out main now, buy some more time. He's perfectly fine at this point until he has any indication. That's what he's lining up right now, the smoke towards A main. Until he feels under pressure, he's perfectly fine at this point. He's jump spotting it anyway. So you can see the crisscross towards mid. It can basically help you isolate any player close by. So you can start building some mid control. You see Zeus already checking right side. You get him maybe facing towards left. And it looks like a mid to be split here from NaVi. It's a bit of a classic tactic, but it's absolutely brilliant when it works out well. And actually, looking at where mousesports are, they're still in spawn. What is Chris J doing?
I don't know if he's buying.
Oh no, he's sitting super passively at this point with the scout. But yeah, it's going to be Spitty to be the one to receive this. NaVi have gone extremely far with very little information gathered. Dennis has already pushed up main, so mousesports know it's definitely not an A at this point. NaVi now needs to make this hit and make it count, but Chris J finds C's.
Perfect, that's exactly what you need. And the tag on Guardian as well is not going to be helping things out for NaVi at all, but the man himself actually gets himself one back. And with 3 players on this side, Spitty has to do, again, the tough job, and so far so good. Nico, in fact, gets on towards Flamey, now the 2v2, but Spitty gets on towards Edward now. It's Guardian left, Spitty with 12 health, the man himself. We did say he had a tough first half and again put into a difficult situation, but again showing us how to hold of that B side. 3 for him. mousesports hold up, but great early peaks from Chris J on that scout as well. You can see he's got himself 10k in the bank from those last couple rounds. Perfect stuff from him, really taking the wind out of Navi's sails before they get rolling.
And breaking down very basically what NaVi did then, and the issue that I thought, is the fact that they gave up a lot of map control to do that, and they were very slow on then the hit towards the actual side itself. It allowed people like Dennis to already push out in towards A main. They knew there was nothing A. If they maybe played a little more default and then hit that quicker, that could have been quite impressive. There was no one in mid to be able to be picked up, because normally you isolate those players, push forward, and then the hit to the side was pretty lacking. They didn't have all that utility to play with. There was no mollies to kind of clear the corners out. But still, now NaVi's, obviously, economy is pretty awful. And Nico can enjoy himself. He doesn't have the UMP this time, so no cheeky plays, but the M4 will do just fine, I can imagine. And really, as ever, anything you get out of these rounds is a bonus.
Yeah, I think Edward got wrecked by a nade thrown by Nico as well, so straight in towards A main that one was here. And yeah, I mean, we can talk about that last round a bit more, because it was interesting. NaVi, in classic NaVi style, played it fairly slow, but also a degree of uncertainty as well. Maybe that mid cutoff tactic we do see often, but it's a bit arbitrary as well. It's like, is it worth expending so much utility and get nothing for it? Do you have reasonable cause to believe that there's going to be a player pushed up so deep? And then their B hit was very disjointed, I feel, very sort of awkward by the looks of things. Maybe it's just a lack of... Maybe it's like a practice. This is very much an outsider's perspective on how we saw it.
Well, yeah, let's be honest. How many times have NaVi had to do that? Probably not many. Double AWP, though, coming out. This is going to be cool. So we have a double AWP coming in for the T side. CT side only has one on Chris J. Let's see what pace and what sort of position we see. It's Seized and Guardian with the AWPs. Seized going to tender over towards B, where we currently have Spitty and Chris J. So the AWP battle is going down there, and Seized just seeing an inch, if anything, of Chris J will take the shot and find it. So that's a good opener. Of course, being on the CT side is very hard to position yourself perfectly, but you can leave Nico to solo almost on this site in a way, as long as they keep highway relatively safe, but him being so vulnerable to that, it's kind of dangerous here.
First peak, a good start for NaVi, no doubt about it. I don't know how C saw it as well, but maybe just relying on Guardian C's to find picks and then just on towards the site. But at this stage, that's still not really a viable tactic, as NaVi have a few more bowling pins to be knocking over, and Nico's got himself set up in a little bit of a different spot at this stage. NaVi wants to just smoke around the corner. Spitty as well has himself an AWP, challenged out by Seized. Going to give ground up and just retreat to the site here, giving some more controls. NaVi tentatively head into mid.
I They're playing with people like Flamey and Seized on the outskirts, and then kind of try and take map control throughout the rest, which I like. But this slow play will need to accumulate to somewhere. They still have the mollies, and they only have one smoke left, so they could easily form something. But players like Nico being in this spot is absolutely filthy. Oh! He whiffed it! And he still finds Flamey. That's nuts. Again, this guy is absolutely ridiculous on this map. He should not have been able to find that shot, but when someone just appears magically in the doorway, I guess you've kind of been a little bit surprised by that, but now Guardian has to make up for it. He can't do it, and NaVi are trailing in numbers. Zeus has gone on a bit of a man mode mission, but only finds 2, leaving mousesports with so much left, and Nico with 4 kills that round. Look at this. Okay, this angle is lovely anyway. It's with the door open beneath him. He tries to hop back on towards the boost, and just Flamey is going to be... I'd be livid.
Yeah, it's
yeah, that's like keyboard smash
you need a new pair of pants
time.
after that one. You're just not going to be ready for it. And the fact is that
A wild Nico just appears.
Flamey made so much sound early in the round. Nico knew exactly where he was standing. You know, even if he whiffed the shot, he still had prior knowledge, right? And the information game is so important. So stunning work by Nico, just played between the two of those guys really well, and that was definitely the death sentence there for NaVi. But now next actually going to catch Zeus out in mid, and Nico aggressive in towards A main here. This is mousesports finding a bit of a rhythm, or maybe Nico is the one dictating the flow of this round. It's just one man left. Edward needs to get the bomb, but Nico awaits on the other side of the smoke.
Well, at least he got the bomb. And kills Nico, but 11 HP. 4 players to find. Sadly for NaVi, I feel this map is spiraling away from them. It's the T side again. The CT side was perfectly fine, but beyond that, I don't know what to say. NaVi are struggling in this one now.
Yeah, you know, we said it in the first half as well. CT side may not really give us a huge insight into what NaVi have prepared on this map, really. Just hold, just be sensible, communicate. On the T side, though, is where, at this level of play, you need to have set plays, you need to have strategies, and they need to be not just existent, but well-rehearsed, right? You need to feel them as if they were second nature. And NaVi, a tentative start of play naturally, combined with some uncertainty about how the strategies are working and how they're interacting with mousesports, is a combination that's going to make them slow and, yeah, again, uncertain about their movements.
And this is when you get even more frustrated. What's Speedy up to in mid here? Are they doing the run boost? Oh, they're doing the run boost, and that just is sexy as hell. Dennis, you're playing sexy CS, and I appreciate that thoroughly. You find Edward, and that's just like, you got a little bit of salt. See that wound on his arm? It's like rubbing it in with a big grin on his face. 4v4, Chris J feeling a little confident, finds Seized, and if you're mousesports, you're starting to feel good about this game.
You're very happy right now, Pansy.
I love run boosting like that. It's just great.
It's even better when it works out as well. So 3 players now left for NaVi. Guardian only 17 points of health. And what we saw early on actually was Flamey actually won the 1v1 against Nico, I believe, in A main early in the round. So that's the only casualty so far from mousesports. But again, they can split this map easily enough. It does leave mid open, of course, as an option. And Guardian and Flamey are slowly but surely making their way through. Guardian, of course, with the AWP here, makes the shot. Speedy didn't know what he walked into there as well. Intercepted by the shot from mid. And Dennis is on his own at A, and Zeus is slowly creeping around from A main, but he's next as well in mid, in a position where he can derail NaVi's attempt to bring this round back.
No one's watching it, and now he's going to have complete free reign. Guardian was focused towards Highway, Flamey as well. Dennis with an easy cleanup towards Zeus, and just... It seems like they just hit a wall. Every time they need to get towards the side itself, they just seem to hit this wall of I don't know what to do with it. They don't have that final push through, and it's just destroying them, sadly. I don't know. This is one of those games that is going to haunt NaVi, I can imagine, and you're going to see that kind of force into it. We might as well, is kind of quote-unquote at this point. You've got the Tech 9, the P250, you've got the 2 Galils, a rifle on Flamey, and very limited utility, but they get entries here and there. They trade out pretty well, but as said, it's the hitting the sights, it's getting the plants, it's the kind of final push that NaVi just don't seem to have in their bag of tricks.
NaVi, if they drop this map, they have to hope that they can beat G2 on round difference. And they're already behind in that regard. They hope that NIP smash them in that second map. Otherwise, they are not going to London at this stage. But right now, they're thinking about the game like they should be. Flamey had a good little angle there, enough to do a bit of damage towards Chris J. Remember, it's a bit of a weird buy into this round. Just the one AK that they're gravitating, and they're orbiting around Flamey and that rifle right now. And it might just work out, because C's gets some Galil working, but Speedy's going to be there, and Dennis to get the shutdown. These CTs are locking it down. It's Edward in main, Zeus in checkers, and the bomb is in the middle of the open up on this side, and Edward just has the boss in. Great little headshot on towards Chris J now. Nico and Speedy. Nico's in mid. Speedy's just going to be collapsed upon here as well. This could be the opportunity. Zeus with one
They don't know where
point
Nico
of health.
is. He's got himself in a position he can do some serious work, and that's the bomb down. It's a 1v1, Mitch. This is unbelievable.
Devastating. This could be the nightmare for NaVi. Edward just has to go in, bollocks out and try and get this kill, but he doesn't know where Nico's going to come from. And again, Nico shuts it down. 2 for him. And that was all that was needed. What beautiful stuff from him, really. That's just really bad luck. A bad day at the office for NaVi as well. They had a 2v1. Zeus was low. Spitty got completely mowed over, but Nico... Oh, the bomb in check is... I don't know. I don't know how it got to being that point, Lauren, but...
I'm so done. I am so ready just to take my heads off and just...
A moment of silence for that last round.
Please press F to pay your respects for NaVi right now. It's like Edward did everything he could, and then Nico goes that one step beyond. And Nico's still not done. He's found brilliance in that last round, and he wants to keep it going round by round. NaVi are seeing the chances of making it to London slip between their fingertips and having to depend on other teams and other games to possibly get them a chance to make it to those finals. And all those games that they've begun with, those 1-1 results, are going to start haunting them. All of those mistakes are going to add up into the final rounds of this game. We're at 14-10, and they're already down 1 player here in this round.
Edward now, the smoke over Chris J. Shuts down C's as well. He get a bit aggressive over towards that B main as well, and that's just going to cut another limb off the beast that is NaVi. Sure, the cogs are turning. It's a well-oiled machine, but this is not where they're familiar at being. This is not home ground for NaVi at all, and mousesports are showing him exactly why. It's the black, red, and yellow sprayed all over it. Just 2 left, Edward and Flamey, and they're in mid, huddling for warmth or security or whatever it may be, but they still get through next, and they're going to continue.
Edward and Flamey, you got to stave off the wolves somehow. And, well, that's how it's going to go. Nico pins Flamey to the wall, and Edward with 16 HP, 25 seconds, and Spitty finds him. We're at 15-10, Mitch.
So, okay, basically what happens now, if this game goes as it probably will and mousesports win, NaVi have a 0-round difference after these 2 maps. So that means that even without taking G2's score into account, they're 7 behind them. So G2 need to lose the second map versus NiP by, I guess, a lot more, I guess. Yeah, because it was 3 rounds. So they need to lose by more than 10 rounds, I think. Because they were 3 rounds ahead of NiP in the first one. So they need to get crunched here. It's not looking good for NaVi.
Their chances are slipping away step by step, minute by minute, second by second here. NaVi are looking down the barrel of the gun. And G2 actually might be on the other side of that at this point. mousesports being their second in this duel. And NaVi having to force into this with everything they have. It looks like we're going to see what could be a bit of a fate play here. They've got all the smokes, or 2 smokes at least, maybe 3 with Guardian, trying to hit onto this A site to pull those 3 players in as possible. But look where that bomb is. It's with Seized and Flamey, but Spitty and Chris J aren't moving yet. Spitty is readjusting. Chris J's off, and they've sold it. They've
Yep. Well, Dennis gets
Spitty's waiting. Spitty is still here. This is the important one. It's these 3 players hitting the side. Spitty can close this down right here, right now.
Put in a tough spot, but the flash comes in to help him out, but Zeus takes him out with a Tech 9, and Chris J now going to be holding in from lower. Gets 1 pick, and there's a player up at upper as well. At least Next will be there to hold off, and that's a great flash. NaVi slowed up immensely, and Dennis can come in as well. NaVi are in trouble. They're surrounded. They go down at 16-10. The German side comes out on top. They split this series 1 apiece. And NaVi's fate hangs in the balance after that map. I don't know, Lauren. I mean, we talked about the CT side, said brilliant, 10 rounds,
yeah,
excellent.
It was good.
Excellent.
That was good.
But no T-side rounds. This is maybe what you expect in the worst case of a team that's not used to playing Case. But I tell you what, mousesports all over that one, like moss on a rock towards the end. Stunning shutdown in the final stages.
Unreal stuff. I'm pretty speechless here because we've just seen the chance that NaVi actually might not make it to the finals, and now that's all in the hands of others. And how many times did they now going to sit back and think about all those results? They had 1-1 results against people like SK. No offense to SK, but that's not a game they should be 1-1ing. They had 1-1 results against Virtus Pro. They've been losing maps to teams at the very start of the Pro League they should have closed down on. And if they'd won 1 more, closed out 1 more map, that could have been maybe this game avoided.
I don't know. It was incredible stuff. It's funny the way this season's ended up, but let's try and tie it all up in a nice little bow for you guys. I don't know how pretty it's going to be given our panel, but let's pass it over to the analysis desk to see what kind of fabric they can... Well, he'd wrap it in a whip if he could, all right? Let's not even go there.
That's true.
Gentlemen,
that's very true.
Take us through.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I've got a lot of things I could say in response to that I won't say on camera. So what we're going to talk about is actually what's going on. NIP currently 11-9 against G2. G2 coming back on the T side at the moment. We're going to jump across to that game in just a moment. We're just trying to sort that out. Flipside currently beating Virtus Pro 11-4. FaZe are 11-5 up over MVP. You guys don't even care about that. What you care about is the fact that Astralis Fnatic is currently 14-12. That was a 12-3 first half T side for Astralis. So kind of on a big comeback at the moment. So what we need to focus on, A, is the fact that NaVi just kind of blew that game. But B, they still have a chance, guys.
Yep.
And that's you're not even going to get to speak, buddy. You're not even going to get to speak.
I'll just
Let's
look
get
pretty.
the game on your screens. It is going to be NIP G2. Take it away.
Yep, I guess we're back. Haven't been fired yet. Also games to be played, so I guess they're going to keep us for now. But let's jump in. It's NIP versus G2. It's 11-9, so already that's not good news for Navi. G2 are supposed to get smashed here if they want to make their way through. But let's go in. It's going to be the T side for G2, NIP on CT.
All right, so GetRight going to be soloing out on the B side here. Going to find RPK pretty swiftly. Trade it out. Scream will find it back. So again, it's us catching up to this game. We are certainly not up to speed on this one, but we'll get there. 3v3 now. They have a good shot. Again, that bomb across exists, just laying down the crossfire. Not going to find much out of it. Freiburg on the long rotate. Pit taking his time. Shox on the lurk. Again, a bit of a specialist at this on this map. Let's see how well he does here. Going to hit Freiburg dropping into mid, but Pit whiffs the shot. And Shox comes back into it.
Can't argue with that aim from the man. Shox, a quick turnaround and a quick kill. But now the 2v2. The bomb has been planted here. Smith's got in there a little bit earlier on, snuffed that one down. But there's kits available for existing Freiburg, and there's a flash for them as well. Smiths has the AWP, and Scream is going to be there as well. A little bit of spray towards the doorway. There's two angles this man needs to watch, but the one taps are real. Freiburg's going to fall down, but Exist is going to hold on here and go into the 1v1. Smith's right at the back of the site. Not much time left for Exist, and that's Smith to get the clean up. It's going to be 11-10, and G2 are making NIP work for it.
So let's get this straight. If G2 pick up this map, GG.
Yeah. Navi have no chance. And to be fair, I'm going to be honest with you, even now I think Navi have no chance. Because G2 get so close, their round difference isn't going to be enough. All right,
Okay. Well, we need to get updates from the admins
we'll find
because
out,
there's
yeah.
so much going on at the moment. We need to find out what the possibilities are, and I assume there'll be an admin around to make sure that happens because I want to ensure it. But anyway, back into this game. We have 11-10 so far. Trying to catch up on how this has gone down. So far, the T side has been pretty damn solid for G2. They picked up the first three, of course, the pistol and the follow-ons. The second round after the gun round came in for NIP, and then we're in this.
Full save here.
So yeah, exactly. Zero investment from NIP. Should be a quick and tidy cleanup. Losing out on two players is actually quite a bit here. Again, threat at the helm now of NIP. You want to see this kind of new pacing, new attitude that you could argue, and actually GetRight finds the bomb. This could mean things are a little bit more dangerous.
And two AKs for remaining NIP players. No armor, to be fair, excuse me, but still well enough armed in this situation where they now know where the bomb is. They know G2 have to go back for it. And this is a round, it's a full save. You can't afford to lose this round, especially G2 within striking distance of NIP's total right now. A chance for them, at least to put themselves out in front here, may have gone by the wayside now. G2 still have body Scream and Smith's up. He's just going to be watching this door, and this is going to be very, very important. But Scream just wrecks the man, taking almost no damage. In fact, probably none at all in the process. And GetRight pretty much just have to try and hatch this one like an egg and hope he gets something out of it that can help him here. He's got an AK, but again, no armor. He should be surrounded. G2 should know he's here.
Wait for that aim punch to kick in unless GetRight does the unthinkable. That's the first step. Two more to go. Sees the molly come. Oh, GetRight! Finds Scream. It's a 1v1. He sprays in. Body's above him. And GetRight playing gutsy CS. Now it's down to time. 19 seconds. Body has the bomb. And GetRight has the angle. He sprays it wildly and he gets it. GetRight with an insane 3K. That is the GetRight that you know and love and have waited to see through the NIP slum come back out like a phoenix from the ashes. Beautiful stuff. NIP 12-10 now.
I almost pulled my headset out of the port by standing up. Okay, I guess it's not as long as I thought. Insane stuff from GetRight. I mean, I don't really need to wrap that up one up any for you guys, but the shot down mid was just amazing. And that's composure you only get from true champions, ladies and gentlemen. But NIP get themselves back another round off a full save, no less. So G2 definitely putting their foot in it, but they still have some guns to work with. Shox, yes, down to a Tech 9, but that man can do a lot with very, very little, as we do well know. And Smith's an RPK. Forrest is watching mid as well. G2 are going to try and pincer on towards B and find the split, but Forrest gets the first shot, and GetRight's going to be there to support him. And back towards this side as well. GetRight is everywhere, floating like a butterfly and stinging like a Mack truck to the face, and it's just RPK down to 14 health on that B side. The bomb sits in front of him, and so do his chances getting his team back in this one as NIP make it 13-10.
Okay, now look at the money for G2. We have a bit of a mixed I guess, economy. You got 4 KC on Scream, he could maybe go for a Deagle or something along these lines. RPK could afford a P250 or such. However, the others want to stay close to 2K as possible. So they're actually low. Okay, here we go. Scream's gone for the rifle in this one. We've got the Deagle with shock, so very, very little here. And the double AWP for NIP. So again, this will be very tough for G2 to find much with, but Scream will be the pivotal player in this, known for his one-taps. Let's see what he can find. I've heard so.
Oh, okay. Moving behind, I guess. Body took so much damage there as well. Fnatic match point, by the way, right now. If they win against Astralis, it's 15-14. They solidify 3rd place, I believe. If they lose, they could be out of the finals. But let's back to this one now as well. Body sat on that Molotov for far longer than was required, and Shox is also quite low. And now, here comes the punch. It's going to be Forrest and Pit there, just holding with the AWPs. But is this falling down now as well? But it should be an easy enough hold for the moment here. Now, flashes are going to be hurting, and it's NIP. That one round that G2 messed up with just those USPs in the hands of NIP is costing them, well, more than just the one round.
So if G2 lose this, it puts them in a tie. There's so many outcomes. I'm reading what the admins are saying right now, and this is going to become
a 3-way tie.
It will essentially be a 3-way tie.
If Fnatic lose and G2 lose.
Essentially, yes. There's a lot of outcomes here that are going to be obscene to watch, but as you said last round, let's get back into this game and see how it comes down, because Exist lays down the smack on long, but only gets the one. Does a hell of a lot of damage to the screen, but couldn't close down the kill. Leaves him with some control here. You see the instant retraction from NIP, going to boost up Pit towards A. So he's going to be playing towards short, trying to regain some control on the map. Get Right's still lurking around in mid, trying to find some information, trying to like get a little bit of a spot out here. RPK's also doing the same thing pretty much, so those two are going to trade out. Good follow-up nade could do the work. It does, but at the cost of his life. So 3v3, and the Orps are left standing with Freiburg on the rifle.
Pyrrhic nade there for Get Right, but still does the job, especially with Freiburg able to pick up Smiths, and just the 2 standing for G2 now as well. And wow, I've fallen a long way back from, I think, 11 to 10 it was now. It's Forrest going to make the peak as well, and sometimes fortune favours the bold. It's Body to hit the ground, and Scream with just 6 points of health. He has enough bullets in his AK to one-tap everyone on NIP if he wanted to, but again, that, you know what, after watching PGL, that really, I just feel weird saying it. It's just not even a meme anymore. It's just overused, but Scream now as well gets a nice little tag on Freiburg, who struggled this game so far, but he holds off for that kill, and this is match point for NIP coming up. And G2 are in struggle town. Not a lot of money at all to work with. They're going to cobble something together and hope it sticks.
And with maximum 3.5 right now? I do not envy being the admins, having to sit there and go like, let me just crunch these numbers right now. Okay, so we've got 2 rifles coming out, full utility with the Tech 9s and the armor. But this is a very cobbled together round. It looks like a bit of a big B hit here. They might do a bit of a mid to B, try and split it up a bit, but really at best that's all you can hope for. But then you've got the big dog himself right now. You've got Get Right on the other side, who's been absolutely trashing these kids, is basically what happened in that round. So again, this is going to be quite a tough one. Nice timing on the nade, nice timing on the spray, and the king of spray might just be back, but actually has to back away. Forrest comes into the rescue, but only for a 1-for-1 trade out. But Gerrite's still here, still spraying down, and still claiming the scalps of G2, leaving just Scream alive in a 1v3.
Yeah, and all of his opponents are quite healthy. Scream couldn't even duck back and get himself a better weapon. And that is it. NIP get the second map as well. A pretty convincing finish. We didn't really see the first part of the game.
What is going to go
We kind of saw the scoreboard and saw that Freiburg was struggling a little bit there as well. I missed the penis joke you made about me before. I'm really upset about that.
I know.
Someone just tweeted at me.
I know.
I can't believe I missed such comedy gold. But so there's a lot of things that we're not really sure about here as well, Lauren, but we'll be able to let our team take care of that one later. I know our admin team's like a sweatshop right now, and everyone's like calculating numbers. There's like a supercomputer in there. They're punching cards. I don't know. Dabbing a bit as well.
Throwback to the desk.
All right, we're going to pass to the desk. The guys can wrap it up, hopefully, and give us a bit more information about how this season is finally going to end up.
Yeah, we will do, guys, but don't go anywhere, because you're going to cast another game any second now, because Fnatic Astralis has gone into overtime, which actually means, because it all hinges on this. If Fnatic win, then obviously G2 NaVi goes out, but if Fnatic lose, there's a real possibility that Fnatic go out. It's like a crazy, crazy thing going on right now. This horrible from the comeback trail, but NOP judging by the scores, they did the work on the first half. 10-5 first half.
Yeah, I mean, G2 seemed like they were poised to actually come back into it, but then get right happened. 1-on-3, the second shot was just nuts. When you win rounds like that, that's such a backbone breaker for G2, obviously. Going on.
Looks like FaZe are going to win that one 14-7. And SK Dig finally finished that game 25-23. But what do we make of that one? G2 NIP. G2 looked like they were on the comeback trail, but NIP... judging by the scores, they did the work on the first half. 10-5 first half.
Yeah, I mean, G2 seemed like they were poised to actually come back into it, but then get right happened. 1-on-3, the second shot was just nuts. When you win rounds like that, that's such a backbone breaker for G2, obviously. Going on a run and then losing that kind of a round. So it's all still up in the air, and we're excited to see how it all pans out in the end.
Yeah, and this Fnatic Envy game, we're going to Astralis game. Sorry, we're going to jump across to in a moment. 12-3 T-side both halves, which in itself is incredible for Fnatic, who are using the new guy, and it's only his second ever game. So anyway, overtime underway. We're going to get back over to the casters. It's Pansy and Mitch. It's pitch.
Or Panzer, which worked for, but pitch is
so
fine. Like
cooler,
tar and pitch is kind of like hot, so I guess that works. But hey, let's jump into the overtime though as well. It is 15-15, of course, and again, Fnatic, it's a must-win. It was 16-5 in the first game for Astralis, so if Fnatic lose this one as well, yeah, we're going to have some very, very weird situations following that one. If Fnatic win, could also be some weirdness there as well. We like it weird here, of course. That's why me and Lauren cast. Let's jump into it. It is the overtime, 15 apiece.
I don't know what to make of any of this anymore. But yeah, Train coming in. I can't give you any background, guys, because I don't have any. So it'll be Fnatic on the T side and Astralis on the CT side. Again, there's some specialists here for Astralis. You look at Zipnix. His B-Hod has been actually exceptional recently. Able to solo out very comfortably. Doesn't need to be any babysitting coming in, but we are seeing Karrigan with the AWP over device, which is quite curious. And let's see how this goes. Zipnix already going for some early aggression, and this is very brave. This is almost borderline insane. There's 3 players possibly waiting here, and Dennis is going to check this. He has to check this. But no, he gets the drop. A 1-for-1 trade out. They spread out the info, but I think they might have an idea where that bomb's going.
Yeah, but B's open as a result there as well. Just the one player pushing in. Unfortunately, Zipnix didn't have a lot of backup there at all. So Smoke's going to go down. Dupree forced away by fire, and there's going to be a plant for Fnatic. That being said, they are 1 player down now, and Astralis gear up for the retake. Dupree there as well. Have a bit of smoke in his way as he wants to work his way across. He's actually managed to spot out Flusher there as well, so the trades come in, but it's all in favour of Astralis. They've got the extra player to work with. Crims able to get device.
And Crims is one of these guys who can go clutch. Don't put him out of it just yet. Karrigan will put him down, but still, Bomb Plant came in perfectly fine. Karrigan didn't have a kit, which scares me, but they do get the retake in. So, first round in overtime going to Astralis here. A bit of a team ace, I guess, everyone getting a kill. No one's staying alive beyond that, just Cajun B and Karrigan on the retake. The cleaner, living up to his name. To be fair, last time we saw Cajun B, I think it was when we were watching Astralis during, I guess it was the last throws of the games we saw in regular time in the Pro League. He actually had a really bad game. He really struggled, so it's nice seeing him having a bit more of a presence in this one so far. Again, however, we are back into this one. Astralis with the lead, not too surprising. Again, T-side on Train is still arguably pretty darn difficult here. And Zipnix this time with a little more caution.
JW's going to be pressured here in a few moments. The flash came in and he missed the shot. He had a little bit of a peek there as well, but nothing going to come of it now as well. And Karrigan just slaps him back down. Dennis at least responds on towards device here, and the bomb is still sitting just above there. Dennis did have to duck down to Pop Dog, I think, for that one. 3 players on 8 for Astralis right now. It's just going to be Zipnix as per usual on his own at B, and he's just going to try and give a bit of ground on, and let Karrigan actually cheat his way over towards B. Now Crims is testing here from Ivy, but Dupree's watching him as well, so there's no easy in for Fnatic at this stage, and Astralis are staying pretty transient. They're moving back and forth. We even saw Zipnix now swapping. He's going over towards A, whilst Karrigan tries to hold here with the AWP with these long angles, of course, as he heads towards Spools. The Molotov thrown down, smoke up, and Crims pushes out of Ivy, gets on towards Dupree, but it's traded out.
And it's all but a ruse. They're keeping 2 players focused towards A when really they're already on the B side. The problem for Karrigan is he couldn't see anyone going towards the side itself, but he still claims the scalp of Flusher from those upper halls. But can he find any more? 2 on the side, spots out 1, connects towards Dennis, knows the other's there, calls it out, and now it's the new boy Wenton. How much can you do in the 1v1? Zipnix still alive, and he does exactly as is required for Astralis. Closes down towards Wenton. The defuse is coming in no matter what. And Astralis hold on again.
So, if Fnatic wins, NaVi's out. They're out. They're out of the finals. If Astralis wins, G2 are out of the finals. They're out.
These two teams are going to be watching this. I don't know. I feel for any team has to sit there and watch two other teams play with your complete tournament life in their hands, because it's not a pleasant place to be. But it's how it comes down to. Both of those teams had struggled several losses throughout. So, all right, we got the double AWP coming out. Cajun B and Karrigan, Device completely absconding away from it, which is very strange considering he was the primary AWPer for the longest of times. But here we go. Into this one again. Device playing on towards B. This time joined by Zipnik. So back to what you'd argue be maybe more standard. I guess Device being there a little bit interesting, but Karrigan again keeping tabs from Train 1 just down by Ivy. And you even have the player cheating over already. Zipnik's coming straight over towards A. But looking at Fnatic, what are they doing here? How are they setting this one up? It looks almost as default as you like. You're going to see the flashes coming in, the smokes coming in. They're actually going to play out quite quickly to this, allowing the AWP to have a chance. This is the danger of playing a little ahead of that. You might get caught out, and they are. Cajun B, the cleaner, mopping up the remains of Fnatic. And this could be a very clean half here in overtime. And that's exactly what it is.
Not ideal there as well. Oh, Wenton getting just cut down there towards the end. I think Fnatic tried to play around JW at the start of that one as well, hope for an early pick, and Crims was teasing a little bit at Ivy, but again, this is not the Fnatic we're used to seeing, of course. There are a multitude of changes. I guess Fugo is still IGL as well at this stage, if nothing else has really changed. So 3 rounds for Astralis on the CT side. Fnatic finding not so much potency really at the front of it there as well. So we'll have to see. Astralis don't need too much to close this one out here as well. Fnatic definitely find themselves looking down the barrel of this one. Again, a loss here. They're still in, from what I understand here as well. I don't think it's on either of these two teams anymore. It's more to do with G2 and NaVi. That's crazy.
So again, just to clarify, if Fnatic win this, then NaVi are out. If Astralis win it, then G2 are out. Just if you're just tuning in. I don't know if Fnatic or Astralis are aware of this either, because I don't know if they've been keeping up with each other's games. So it's going to be kind of fun to see how this one plays out.
That's kind of the point with everyone playing at the same time, right, as well. You can't be like, oh, they got this round, you know, like you just got to go in and just hope for the best when you come out at the end of it. It's quite a nerve-wracking process as well, or clench-worthy, as Zeus would say. But when you come out the other end and the smoke clears, you just have to see exactly how the dice fell. Now Astralis, looking damn good. That first half was very, very strong. Now Fnatic just have to try and keep them at arm's length and get themselves around here.
Fnatic, it's all in time. And considering backs at all, I'm surprised they didn't go for the double AWP. I get, you know, when you have nothing to lose, you might as well fully invest, but maybe not something they plan for, with Olaf not in the team at the moment. Could be just something they don't have in their arsenal. So again, JW going to watch a push out. There's Device gone. Didn't work out perfectly with the flash that was put there by the T's. So now Cajun B's like, do I dare? All right, I do. Why not? Karrigan responds though, and that's a 1-for-1 trade out. Again, B is not under control yet. Crims is still standing on this, so he's trying to toy with the master himself as well. Zipnik's both these players so famed for this play, but he spots out the bomb, so now it's all on Cajun B. 2 kills into this round, but suffered heavy loss. 14 HP left.
Yeah, it's a long walk for Cajun B to get back towards this one as well. Bomb dropped on the B side. No successful plant for Astralis, and again, JW and Crims, between the two of them, they've got all the kills for this round as well. So Cajun B definitely going to be going up against it as well, especially given that they have plenty of health, and JW has, well, plenty of utility as well. Surprised he doesn't have a can of a certain energy drink in his back pocket as well at this stage with all the stuff he's been able to buy himself.
He really is quite the monster.
Cajun B now, up from above, the Batman play.
My God.
He's going to at least be able to get Crims now, but it's going to give his position away to JW. The later dunk nade is not going to claim him though as well, and Cajun B just going to have to smoke down. He's got 40 seconds to work with here, so he should try and play it as safe as he can.
He can do this, which is terrifying me, Mitch.
Oh, don't push the smoke, please. Oh, God. He's going to see... JW sees him there through the smoke. But Fnatic keep themselves in this one as well. I want to say, Wenton as well, last couple of rounds for him, he's died pretty much quickly as well. More like went off at this stage. He's just been getting picked off. Not even first, to be fair, but has not already had a huge impact on this overtime. He definitely needs to try and... I mean, I know he doesn't have a huge amount of experience in maybe some of these top-level hype games towards the end, you know, with the stress and the nerves coming in, but again... Be good to see him really start to lift here as well as Fnatic get that crucial round back.
And this is like a fast hit towards the outer bomb side as well. Dupree and Cajun B straight out. So Wenton's going to be under severe pressure. He's completely smoked off, as is most of the side itself, but he's still found Cajun B. There's JW coming in as well. They've just pincered these guys down basically as they're trying to make their play through Train 1. Stunning connection from JW again. That's Karrigan gone, leaving it into Dupree and Zipnik's hands. And the angles held by Fnatic are vastly superior here. To find room to work is going to be almost impossible at this point. And already the flank's coming in from Crim. So Fnatic can hone in on focusing on the pushes here. Dupree's got his way up train 1. Zipnik's had a shot towards the old bomb train, but can't do anything with it. So now Dupree left in a 1v4. Don't get me wrong, Dupree's pretty sick, but this might be that one step too far. But still claims Dennis, still finds Wenton. But JW keeps things in check.
On planet Earth. Yes. Well, for a while there was just you, me, and Dupree, but he still had 4 players to deal with there, so it would have been a bit of a struggle. Well, Astralis, a very, very strong first half, but again, neither of these two teams really able to show their teeth when it comes to the T side here as well. I'm going to shut down a little bit early as well. I mean, Cajun B has himself the AWP in this case, not Carrigan, not Device even. So I wonder what the early rounds were like for Device, because we know how he can let himself, he can be his own worst enemy sometimes, I guess psychologically or mentally. So maybe that's been the case here, but we're seeing the AWP get passed around a bit.
Yep. JW this time adjusting as well. He's been playing on top of, kind of by the connector, the little toll booth you have there, so, or ticket, whatever you want to call it. So adjusting already over towards B, but a good pickup from Dupree there removes Dennis out of the map. So he was playing by connector as well, so by the new bomb train. And now we have 4 players postured towards the A site, but look at this, Device just snuck himself up pretty far. He could get a free shot here towards Flusher, doesn't find it though. Gets the tag, not the frag. That's not enough at this point. 4v3 now. Still on a knife's edge. Dupree snuck himself close, but I think they know he's close by. You can see that spray coming through the smoke, and JW just wants to end it. He's done with this guy being that close. He doesn't want any more of that pressure. And now down to 2. Carrigan and Cajun B. And not much can be found. That CZ is doing damage. It's like, hey, is that Flusher? No, that's JW. All right.
Again, these Deagle shots not hitting as well. There's probably 2 kills in that for Astralis that they could have had if they were connected. And that's the burns, though, at the end of the day. And it is 18-18, so we're going to go to yet another one. Lauren, as I guess none of these two teams really able to break through at all on that T side as well. You see Astralis get 3 CT side rounds. We're thinking, okay, they're probably looking pretty good here. Just, you know, get a decent round up and you're laughing. But Fnatic able to shut them down yet again as well. And this is anything but easy, of course, for Fnatic. And definitely a baptism of fire for the new player as well.
Imagine NaVi like just trying to PM like Astralis, like, hey look, these are some T-side strats that we do. Bring them through, all right? just try this out, guys. Like, win on the T-side, you'll be fine. But, yeah. Second overtime coming in. Again, just to clarify, if you're just tuning in and you don't know why we're following this game or wasn't always scheduled, if Fnatic win this, then NaVi are out. They're done for. They can't qualify to the finals. If Astralis win it, then G2 are out. So both of these teams are waiting in the wings, watching this game with bated breath. And it's all down to the fate of 2 teams who have already qualified.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, 2 teams that are qualified decide the fate of 2 teams that are awaiting the verdict as well. Just intense stuff, really. And you could have asked for, you could have written a better finish to this season as well. Hopefully the finals are going to be just as good, but we're not quite there yet. This game still needs to be concluded. And Device and Cajun B, well, let's hope to see more from them in this half as we go in. Again, Cajun B did pick up the AWP towards the end of things there as well, but Astralis still had no money by that last round, still couldn't break through. Is that
Device?
Is that Krieg?
Device?
Okay. All right, I don't know if he's tilting or is, you know, is this old Neo going for the Org?
We've seen it become more commonplace, and I hate it.
Well, I don't know about commonplace. I think it's like...
Well, we've seen like Neo trying it, a couple of others like giving it a go. And I guess on the boost in certain places that you can boost down by Ivy, and it's actually not the worst in the world, but I don't know. Okay, we're underway into the second
Just let it go.
half.
Look, Device was there, moral support. He had the Krieg, Cajun B went forward and got the kill. It's just that confidence to pick up the gun that gave his teammate the ability to go forward.
And getting control of Ivy and Train 1 is great. But Flush is trying to make a bit of a counterplay by getting aggressive down by Train 1, but he just can't see it. He was completely blinded. Cajun B and Carrigan will finally deal with him, but this is a very scrappy round. It's kind of half and half. They have split the battlefield right down the middle, and it's going to be Fnatic coming out on top. Wenton doing the damage, and
That's
here
it, boys.
comes the SG. Sorry. Wenton, 1v2. I hate this gun so much. Device, why'd you do this? He's going to probably get it as
the
well.
pre-fire.
He's like the Terminator just walking around the corner, just...
All right. Well, he gets himself 2 kills with that one. Whether he gets rid of it or not remains to be seen.
So mad.
That was quite weird, actually, because both teams looked like they were wandering actually into stacks of their opponents without almost realizing it there as well. So I don't really know if either team actually had a good read on where they were sat sort of mid to late round there. But yes, Device is going to stick with the SG here. And it's going to be Flusher on the AWP, interestingly enough. JW not opting for that one. Don't know if that was off the back of spawns or something else, but Carrigan will have it too.
And Crims and JW are going relatively aggressive towards ramp, but now they're going to see everything. Crims knows what's coming his way, so here comes the positioning. Fnatic with the spray down comes in. That is a lockout. Crims with JW, perfect combination. They lose out on JW, but that's nothing. That's perfectly acceptable at this rate. And now Karrigan left in the 1v4, and he's just got the orb. But the bomb's safely nestled in the hands of Fnatic right now. Crims, Dennis, and Wenton all focusing towards where he walks out. And it's all tied up again, 19-19 right now.
Yeah, I think Karrigan misjudged how far that smoke actually extended as he walked out of the door there as well. That's a meat grinder if I've ever seen it, though, as well. Astralis try and mix it up again. We're seeing, you know, these teams go for something a little bit different. Now Device decides he actually does want to go back towards the AWP here as well in this last round of this first half of overtime. This time, though, of course, it's done a better start, I guess, from Astralis. They got themselves a T-side round. That may be
it could be the difference. It really could be at this point, Mitch. I don't know what to say about these two. This is so intense at the moment. And let's look at Astralis. How are they setting up for this one? It looks default as hell. They're waiting to see if there's some aggression anywhere on the map. You can see already Device all the way back in spawn, waiting that push through Ivy. See if anyone dares to go for it. Either, you know, Wenton playing close by at some point. JW's there at the moment. dupree's got some control in pop, which is always good. They can build themselves towards A now quite nicely. Zimnik's still trying to sell something towards B to cause that fourth man on A to pull himself back over. But with 1 minute left, you will eventually have to commit here. And there it goes. dupreeh steps out. Wenton greets him with a smile. So already, we're going to see an advantage here for Fnatic.
Cajun B, it's JW and Flusher on the other side. Flusher again with the AWP, so whatever arrangement has transpired between those two, it does see JW with Ivy duty and a rifle in his hand. Cajun B looks to want to challenge this one out as well. If he can get the jump on JW, who's very, very low as well. Just some wayward spray will get it done. Instead, he finds the body, and that'll do it. But Flusher comes in as well, flying in, but he's going to get taken out. And Astralis might be at the back of another T-sided round. The bomb is going to be planted. Wenton's kept away by the smoke. He does at least manage to catch Device, but it's a 2v2.
So he knows where the plant is going to be, or roughly, but they don't know where Cajun B is right now. Crims is focused in on that. So now Wenton needs to either wait for his teammate or try and focus down. So two individual 1v1s are about to go down here. If they could focus 2-1, it would be perfect, but they're not going to get it. Crims just saw where that molly came from. This should be Crims' moment to just take out Cajun B. Takes his time on it, gets the shot. Now they know roughly where Karrigan was, but the clock is ticking. They don't have a smoke, they have two flashes. They're going to hit that molly hit, and Wenton hits the shot. Now they get the defuse. Fnatic by a whisker, keeping themselves ahead on that CT side.
Again, very interesting little bits of play actually happening in Ivy. Funnily enough, that's a part of the map that we don't always see a lot of action there, but again, I mean, I think it was unlucky for dupreeh, I think it was, sitting back in the corner. Great tweet by Zeus there as well.
Zeus just tweeted out the perfect picture. If you don't follow him, go and check it out, because it is spot on.
Meme game strong.
Yeah,
his
meme game is on point. But now this is the scary one, because Astralis picked up one round on the T side.
Yeah, again, it could be all the difference. We have to see what the CT side holds up like as well. To be fair, not much to read in from the first overtime, as neither team really brought anything overly exciting to it now as well. We want to see a little bit of variation here as well. And neither of these two teams are going to give an inch as well. I mean, they're not even thinking about the other teams qualifying off the back of this. They're thinking about getting the W here, and Crim's also going to be very dizzy in a few moments as he just ballerinas his way down towards Ivy. Not really sure. Maybe he just wants to set up there later as well. And interestingly enough, he's actually read this well. Astralis have pushed Ivy, and Crims is nowhere to be seen as he's already backed up and he's got that information.
Zimnik's again has to be huge in this. He has the possibility of doing so much damage. It's all in his hands at this point.
Eventually, Fnatic have got to pull the trigger on this one as well. We've seen players push this far. A bit of one and done, a bit of a trade, potentially. We saw Astralis try this as well in their first CT round, the first overtime, right? And they just got the one player for it. And again, B was uncontested from that point. There was no other Astralis player. So Zipnix, to say this is an important spot is an underestimation. This is incredibly crucial here for Astralis. And they're still not pushing it. You see Flusher as well, just taking his sweet time, hoping maybe that he'll be given something, but he's going to have to come forward eventually. He does have Dennis there to support, but not immediately there as well. It could be the trade. Even great little pre-fire from Flusher. He gets a heck of a lot of damage down. Dennis comes in, does the honors, finishes it off. But the bomb won't go B yet. And this is great because Karrigan and Cajun B have already made the rotate. Device, though, waited there for the last 30 seconds or so, at least gets himself a kill on Crims.
4v4 now. 30 seconds just passed. Fnatic need to make their move. Device is a good shot of this, but takes a little bit of damage on the way. Gets spotted out. Fnatic now focusing towards A. Smoke goes down. Karrigan on the peak towards Pop. Doesn't see anyone. They're already out towards the site, and he gets caught off guard. It's down to 2. Cajun B and dupreeh. Fnatic see Astralis do it on the T side. They're like, hey guys, we're going to do it just the same.
Cajun B now, all on his own. This could go for a while, ladies and gentlemen, at this rate now as well. Fnatic look to get themselves that T-side round back. Device got himself a good little position to get one kill, but once Fnatic got that kill on Xyp9x, they went back to A to try and fake that, with 2 players from Astralis rotating over. Device was out of position. He got completely caught. He was trying to cross towards Popdog past E-Box. He was shot from behind and from front, and then bam, Fnatic on towards the site. I think it was like a 3v1 at that stage, with 2 players from Astralis cheating to B.
Tick again, going back at this now. Get themselves in a good position, 21-19. Xyp9x this time going to be far more passive, be a little bit more, I guess, respectful. But Device having none of it. Going to climb on towards JW already.
Sorry, what was it again?
Oh, I don't know. This game is ridiculous. The point is that every kill is going to equate to one team basically going home, which is neither of these two, which is ridiculous, but still.
So if we weren't already highly strung from the last few games, then this is just going to add some fuel to the fire, as it were. But Dupree takes a little bit of damage. He was actually defending Ivy against Crims, who throws in what I believe is a decoy and then backs away as well. So Flusher and Wenton, again, to work B if they can. It's going to be Cajun B on the site and Xyp9x on this walkway here as well, just to try and spot things out as well. A little bit careful in that spot as well. It could be an off-angle sort of situation if he's not careful.
They've been able to cheat over Cajun B so early. This could be a great move if Fnatic actually do go B here. It means that Astralis have the 2 players locked and loaded for this. Xyp9x and Cajun B. Flash out from Cajun, they're going to hear that step, so they might even pop flash it themselves and check for this. But again, Astralis should be ready and waiting. They have 30 seconds to stay alive. The smokes are coming in. Karrigan, Device, and Dupree are not here. Xyp9x spots one out. He gets Flusher down. Dennis responds accordingly. And now Cajun B has to hold back Fnatic here.
Yeah, he went for the pop flash and had to give up his position on up and hours ball. Just a bit of tap, but Crims and Dennis get there. And it's just Dupree and Karrigan now have to rotate through. And Astralis may have just let this one slip. Crims gonna make it one person left. It's just Dupree up against 3. Now Crims and Dennis have 6 points of health between them. It's a Molotov towards upper just in case Dupree wants to sneak his way over there. But Crims will be lying in wait here. It is a kid at least for Dupree and a flash if he does require it. But one player left on the site. Wenton is going to take him down. A Fnatic. I don't believe it. I really thought it would be a different one, but they are going to win. And that means that NaVi will not be at our season finals.
Yeah, NaVi are out.
I don't know what more you want from me. I've given all my emotion. It's all out there. I'm just drained now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So yeah,
great
T-side from NaVi are out.
Great T-side from Fnatic in that second half of the overtime as well. A huge improvement on the first one as well.
Definitely.
Astralis managed again to do the same, but Fnatic got on a roll right where it counted.
Absolutely unbelievable. And for G2 and NaVi sat there watching that must have been horrific almost for both of them. But yeah, it is what it is. And what a way to close out essentially the season on that note, at least for the top end of the scene, making it through to the finals.
Yeah, heartbreaking as well to watch something you have no control over that can decide your fate. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the way that the cookie does often crumble. And that is it for the season as well. All our games are pretty much done. It's been a long haul, and the finals do loom just around the corner. And if that game is anything to go by as a prelude, it's going to be an absolute cracker set of matches, of course, in London. But now, let's pass over to the desk to wrap things up here for you guys on what has been a fantastic season. Thank you guys for watching us. Hopefully we'll be back. But now, over to you, gents.
Yeah, thank you very much. What an absolute cracking finish to the season. I don't think you could hope for a closer end to a 9-week trick, but it was 13 weeks technically because there was this thing called a major in between.
Yeah,
but what a finish.
Yeah, I mean, it must have not been fun to be NaVi watching that, considering how the scoreline was after first half. Astralis is massively out. Fnatic came back at it. End of the day, overtime and all that. So, as Zeus was tweeting, funny picture out there, just sweating all everywhere. So yeah, that's how it's going to go. G2 going in and NaVi's out.
And the crazy thing is, to explain it, it goes down to round differential. We'll get the table on the screens in a few moments. They're just working furiously backstage because obviously we were admins. Everyone was trying to figure out exactly how it works out. And to explain it to people, I know there's a lot of you guys been tweeting, it's like, this isn't right, the round differential is completely wrong. It's not. What it is wrong is all of the league tables that are out there, because the way the rules work with round differential, if it goes into overtime at 15-15, it doesn't matter what the score is after that, it counts it as a 16-15 win. That is it. So it could go to 28, 24 or something like that. I don't know. It could go crazy scores, massive rounds. Doesn't matter. It'll only ever get counted as a 16, 15. That's all it counts as. So that's you guys at home that have all been looking at HLTV, etc., and looking, saying, look, this table says that they are massively clearing round differential. No, trust me, I've been hammering on to the admins myself about this one and going, this makes no sense to me. How is this possible? So it actually, in all essence, went down to 4 rounds. Across an entire season. I think it was 4 rounds. I don't know. We'll wait till when the league table comes up. I'm pretty sure it's 4 rounds.
Yeah, but that's still close.
Between the two.
Yeah, still, like everyone's raging about NaVi having to play catch and all that, but they had all the season to produce one more win to get out of this tiebreaker. For example, last week against Flipside.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Think of the NaVi game last week when they absolutely played appalling. Didn't they lose 16-3 or something like that in one of them games?
I can't remember. It was
huge. It was absolutely huge. Let's get the league table on the screens for you for the final confirmation, guys, of what has happened. NIP, of course, top of the table, top of the board, 19-3. Fantastic stuff for them. Astralis, they will finish the season 16-6. They are in second place. Second seed, of course. Don't forget the seeding also counts. Fnatic, man, did they play their hearts off. 12-3 they were down in that train map, and they came back 12-3 on the T side, took it into OT, and picked up the victory. And of course, that is the difference between NaVi and G2 going through. It will be G2. It is down to those small little rounds. It turns out it's 7-round differential, if my maths is correct. So 7 rounds, that's how close it was. Incredible.
Yeah, and
incredible.
Also, obviously, for Fnatic not playing Olfmeister, that changed the dynamic of the last few play days. Obviously, that's why we had this I would argue that's one of the reasons why it became so close with Fnatic being part of this.
And just to explain, obviously, people that were unsure of why, if Astralis won, Fnatic obviously would have been on a draw, so there would have been a 3-way tie. Then it goes down to the head-to-heads. It's crazy stuff. But also things to notice, Virtus Pro in 12th place. It doesn't mean they're out. We've been told there is no auto-relegation this year because of an expansion in the league. It actually means they will still have to go to relegation, but it means they can play for their place. It doesn't mean they're auto-relegated, which is a big difference. Now, there's some pretty damn good teams down there in the Premier, so it's not going to be an easy run for them regardless.
No, there's EFRAG, you have my team is there, ENCE is there.
Indeed. Yeah. And you guys have rocked the league, haven't you?
Hellraisers, yeah, I think we were second in the regular season, so it was dark to the Land Finals, which happened, I think, 7th of May.
So big games coming up. But overall, what's your take on the league? What are you seeing going into this? Obviously, we now know the 4 European teams, 4 American teams to come.
I mean, it's going to be. There's going to be so much going on in terms of like a lot of tournaments for these guys. So it's going to be hard for them to really. As we've seen with a lot of teams, kind of NaVi being a prime example of when you've been to so many tournaments, you have to sort of try to pace yourself, but. NIP looking red hot. I mean, obviously, no one expected them to be this, playing this massively throughout the whole online phase. NaVi
they had a little help in a few games, but I think they proved at Malmo that it's more than they needed, really.
Yeah, for sure. Then it's cool. It's going to be interesting to see how Fnatic is going to play. Is Olofmeister going to be back there or not? Yeah, that's a bit of a question mark. Still got a few weeks to work that out. Or if
get his yogurt drinks down and maybe fine.
That's true. I think we mostly have the usual suspects. Astralis also, obviously. They've struggled.
NaVi's a big loss, though. I mean, they've been, since they've been finalists, obviously at Malmo and in Columbus, the last two big tournaments, it's a big loss not having them there. I wonder if Astralis figured it out towards the end. It's like, wait, guys, if we lose, NaVi won't be here. We'll figure out how this one to go. Well, you guys, don't forget, you can also join us at the finals in London. ProLeague.eslgaming.com, I believe, is the place you can get it. I might be wrong. Hopefully a lower third will come up and correct me. I don't know whether there's going to be one or not. But no, there isn't. So you just have to take my word for it. It's ProLeague. ProLeague.com. Google
ESL Pro League.
ProLeague.com, which is our domain, and then /CSGO. Just go to ProLeague.com. It'll go straight to it. Trust me. You'll be find it. /CSGO. Boom! Lots of tickets to be had at London. That's going to be on May the 14th and 15th, I believe. Again, don't quote me on that one. Better check it. Better go to the website. Lots of things are going to happen between then and now, of course. Well, we don't even know who's going to make it to that big finals because there's playoffs that are going to be happening in the Leicester studios before that. So you won't be seeing all 8 teams. You'll be seeing only the ones that have managed to qualify through. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Hoping to see you again sometime soon. Best of luck with your team.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
On the 7th of May, I believe it was. See where they're going to play. I don't know who they're going to play. Do they have to go through the full grinder? And then Virtus Pro are going to be in there somewhere, I guess.
There's 4 teams in the finals. I think it's EFrag, Alternate Attacks, and Hellraisers and ENCE. And I think the 4 teams play one another. The first goes straight into the Pro League, and then
second plays VP.
I think second place
VP. Yeah, it does. It does. So you're going to be wanting to get first place. You want that auto promotion.
Definitely.
Guys, do be sure to look out for that one. That's going to be coming up on the 7th of May. But until then, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you at the finals of the ESL Pro League.